Alright guys, welcome back to the CUBIST MTG. We are here with a special video today. This is the first of many. What we're going to do is a first pick Friday. So this is kind of inspired by a little thing I saw on Reddit, on the Cube subreddit, where apparently people talk about their Cube drafts and the first pick out of the first pack that they do. I was kind of always a fan of the Instagram hashtags like Throwback Thursday and whatnot. I thought it was just a creative way to get people thinking the same way. So today we're going to do a first pick Friday. All right. So we got our pack here. Crack it open. And let's see what we got. All right. Now this is also a great time to go over exactly what cards are in my cube and the reason that they're there. So let's take a pick at the first one. This is Thalia. The newer Thalia. I do not like white. I think white is the weakest color in almost any cube. But sometimes you need things to help fend off some of the bigger decks, and that's where white comes into. They have great spot removal, and in this case, they make it so your creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter tapped. That can really slow down a combo deck. That can really slow down some of the faster decks, but this could go good in any kind of hybrid, fast red deck. This is what you would play. Definitely not my first pick, though. All right, second card here we got a Windswept Heath. This is just a great land. It kind of makes any card or any deck that plays 2 or 3 colors, feasible. It's also really good with Crucible of Worlds, but definitely not a first pick material. Windswept Heath is, hopefully going to rotate around the table a little bit for us, and then we can pick it maybe, towards the last few picks. But not a great first pick unless there's absolutely nothing else. Next, we got Kitchen Sphinx. This was a huge card when I played back in the day. When this was in standard, the Kithkin decks ran it. A lot of the other cards had it as sideboard just because it just is hard to remove. Sadly, in Cube, this is just not a good enough card. It's very expensive for 3 mana. I can basically draw a few cards and untap 3 lands if I'm playing blue. So this kind of gets overlooked quickly, but definitely not a first pick either. Next we got Zealous Conscripts. Now this is an interesting one. The card is very good. It's kind of expensive, but you can always cheat it in with Sneak Attack. It is very good with Kiki Jiki. It even shares color with Kiki Jiki, which is always fun. And Splinter Twins, it's actually pretty good with that too. Not a first pick worthy, because you never know if Kiki Jiki is even going to be in the cube. That's kind of a cool dynamic that kind of gets passed around when you are doing picks, is that depending on your size of your draft and the size of your cube, sometimes cards don't make it in the cube at all. For example, my cube has about 700 cards in it, and if we're playing 8 people, there's a lot of the packs that aren't going to have Kiki Jiki in it just by sheer percentage, so definitely not a first pick either. Next we got a Dig Through Time. I actually just watched a couple videos that were joking about how this was in, some of the Masters sets and how it's kind of a joke, but in the cube, blue is very strong. It is actually very, very good pick, but I wouldn't say it's first pick worthy. I don't know, not much more to say about that. Drawing is really good in cube, and blue is probably some of the best, but we're not going to pick that first. Next we got Scavenging Ooze. This I kind of touch on in another video, but a lot of people don't play Graveyard Hate. Like, it's questioned whether or not you even have cards like this in your cube at all. The only way that I really see it is if it's good enough to main deck, then it's okay to keep in. With this card, it is good enough to main deck. It's just not good enough for a first pick. Next up, we got Selfless Spirit. Not too much to say about this card. Indestructible's cool, but honestly, this card is so weak that I don't even know if I'm going to keep it in my cube for much longer. We're going to see how it performs and take it out, but not even close to being a first pick. Next up, we got Sphinx Revelation. This card's pretty good. You can really draw some good cards, gain some life. Not a first pick either, but white-blue is a very strong color combination in the cube overall, so it makes it pretty good, especially when you can ramp up and get a good hit. You know, it's not too bad, but not a first pick either. Man, it's crazy. We've been through 3, 6, 8 cards. I haven't found my first pick yet. That's all right. Bribery. Very good card, especially with the creature quality in a lot of decks in Cube. This card is nuts. If you even draft a Black Lotus and then you get it out on turn 2, turn 3, maybe even turn 1 if you're lucky, this card can really change the game. It is a little risky, though, for a first pick because you don't know what's going to be in the packs and what people are playing. But if you can steal an Emrakul or something like that, that makes it amazing. That would be close to being a first pick for me, I think, after seeing all these. We're going to pack these up, but we're going to take that right there. Next up, we got Entomb. Good card. I play Legacy Reanimator, so I have quite some experience with Entomb, but I don't think it's first pick quality here. The combo quality of it is you need to have this. You need to have instant speed, reanimation, and then you can have the slower stuff, but you got to have an Emrakul. So those 3 pieces does not make this a first pick. Other than that, I don't think we're going to first pick that, but it's good. Next up, we got Goblin Guide. This actually could be a first pick. Depending on the pack and what you're looking at, mono red is actually a very overlooked kind of deck in a lot of cubes, only because it's kind of boring. If we're going to be serious, a lot of people that own cubes and build cubes love combos. They love broken stuff. Red is just not broken. It is just very reliable. It wins a lot of the time. If you want to win, you know, more games than build a deck, then draft red. This could be really good. I mean, in our pack we did see Thalia, which may not be a first pick, but it could be a later pick that could help. So this is in contention for a first pick if you want to win. Next up, we got Swords of Plowshares. Great card. Again, touching on what we said about Thalia's, white is very weak. It just has the best spot removal, though. This takes care of any card that can be targeted, you know, minus that Emrakul that has protection from instants. That's a good card. I would consider that for a first pick. Next, we got Baneslayer Angel. Again, just a weak card overall. White is just terrible. You could sneak attack it. You could put it in, reanimate it. All great targets. But honestly, the lifelink, protection from demons and dragons, especially in my cube, there isn't a huge synergy of demons and dragons. So not a first pick. Probably shouldn't even be in the cube at all, but whatever. Next up, we got Bitter Blossom. Great card. I mean, it helps with beating the fast decks, especially if someone at your table is drafting mono red. But again, I don't know if it's first pick quality for me. It would probably make my top 5. But other than that, I wouldn't say it's super great. There's a lot of enchantment removal in green. I don't know. Not much more to say about that. It's just a solid card. And this is the last card in the pack. We got Cryptic Command. Now, back in the day when I was playing Lorwyn block, I played... I played Dragonstorm, which was a very fun deck at the time. I loved combo. I loved everything about Dragonstorm. And this card was, like, expensive. It was in all the control decks. It was a fantastic card. But that being said, that's, you got to let go of those because this card is actually very lackluster in Cube. There's just so many better quality cards out there. This card is expensive. It really only counters a spell, and that's about it. I mean, let's be real. The card overall, when it's in the block that it was in, it was great. But now it's kind of lackluster, but it brings back a lot of memories for me, so I kind of like it. It'd probably be top 5 first pick in this. If we're going to go back through after we've seen the whole deck, I would honestly say my top 6 would probably be these cards right here. We'll go over them one more time really quickly. We got Winstup Heath. Since there's no power in this pack, this actually makes it up to the front of the line, but we're not going to pick it. Cryptic, it's up there. We're not going to pick it. It's really down between these 4 cards right here. And these 4 cards are the best that we have in here. For my money, if I was really going to go for it, what I would do is I would probably pick Goblin Guide. Drop off a Goblin Guide. Hope that as cards get picked going around, our next pick from this pack would either be a Windswept Heath, a Thalia, a Zealous Conscripts, a Bitter Blossom, or a Swords of Plowshare. That's what we would hope would get rotated around to us. That's what we would hope to, wheel. But we're going to stay with that. Our first pick is going to be Goblin Guide. Thanks for stopping in, guys. This is the CUBIST MTG. I hope to get these out pretty regularly on Fridays, and we can see what your first pick is. Down below, comment what you think your first pick is. Tell me why mine was right, why mine was wrong, and we'll catch you later. Thanks, guys.